So nearby Lucas, how much Metroid Dread have you played recently?
Quite a lot.
Same. In the context of the game she appears in, Samus Aran is an intergalactic bounty hunter who saved the universe from complete annihilation about 5 times. An unstoppable, hyper-competent badass decked head to toe in an alien anti-everything suit, the character is widely considered the First Lady of Gaming. A title the game Metroid Other M decided to shit all over when it inexplicably made Samus Aran wear 2 sets of high heels at once. So nearby Lucas, for people out there who maybe aren't all too familiar with the character of Samus Aran, would you like to describe the First Lady of Gaming to those folks?
Yeah, she's a good old bird lady, this one.
She's a bird lady.
She is, and she's the one that you call when you need shit done. When you need to eliminate the deadliest threat in the galaxy, you call this one woman.
Yeah, you call Samus Aran. When everybody else fails, get this one lady who's done it 5 times already. And one of the notable things about Samus is that she's one of the first female video game protagonists. Like, not the first, but one of the first and one of the most notable.
I mean, there was probably Miss Pac-Man before her. I'm not sure on the dates and stuff. There's probably a few. There's
either a fact bar below me or someone below that in the comments screaming about some earlier, more obscure game we don't know about because it's not Metroid. But one of the interesting things about Samus being a woman is that that detail was suggested as a joke at first.
So yeah, they just kind of said, why not make her a woman? Let's do it.
Yeah, and we don't know who made that suggestion because when people who worked on the original Metroid get asked, it's like, he was just in a board meeting. Just one guy piped up and said, what about if we made her a woman? And then the murmuring occurred in the meeting. It's like, well, why shouldn't she be a woman? Like, does it make any difference whether this character is a woman or not? Also, this series is taking a lot of influences from the Alien series, which itself has a strong female protagonist who shoots aliens with a giant fuck-off gun. And Lucas, I think it's fair to say that women don't get a fair shake in video games?
No, not for the most part. There's obviously always some examples, and I think Samus is a good example of a strong female character in video games.
Because every time you mention this, someone goes, well, what about Samus? What about Lara Croft? It's the same thing of like, bring it back to the Alien franchise. Every time you point out, well, there's not a lot of strong female characters in film. So we'll go, well, what about Alien and Terminator 2? It's like, the fact that your 2 go-to examples are from the 1980s and you can't think of any more kind of shows how limited the representation is. And one of the things that's quite refreshing about the character of Samus is that she's almost never seen without her trademark power armor, and the fact she is a woman is never commented upon in almost any game, except for Other M, which we'll get to in a moment.
Yeah, for the most part, it's just, this is a bounty hunter in a power suit. Deal with it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's underneath that suit because the person underneath that suit is going to solve your fucking problem. And the more time you waste of hers, the less time there is to save the galaxy.
That's true.
And another refreshing thing about the design of Samus is that she has an atypical body type for a female character in a video game. She's very tall, very muscular, and very stocky. At least until Metroid Other M came on. And Lucas, do you know how tall Samus Aran is in canon?
Is she 6'5"?
6'3", same height as me.
Okay.
So my gym goal is just Samus. So she's canonically 6'3" tall, weighs about 250 pounds outside of her armor due to Chozo enhancements, and inside of her armor is even tougher and even stronger.
Yep, she's just an all-round big badass.
Yeah, she's basically Brienne of Tarth. So that's the picture I use in the article when I describe her. It's just here's an artist interpretation of what Samus looks like. It's Brienne of Tarth.
And I always love the design because, yeah, when she's in the power armor, she's really big and tough and intimidating. And then when you've got her in a Zero suit, like in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, for example, she's very sleek and agile and super fast.
Yeah, and that's because she's at the peak of human fitness. She's been trained by alien bird people to be the absolute most badass motherfucker in the world.
And it's always weird when you have to say, oh, she's a bird person. That makes her really strong because obviously that birds could be anything. But yeah, Chozos are just giant warriors that are one of the strongest tribes in all of the universe.
One of the most powerful races in the universe in which she exists, and the most technologically competent. Clearly I'm not, but they the Chozo are. And will all this change though with the release of Metroid Other M, a game I would like Lucas to sum up with a 1 second auditory noise. That's it, just big sigh. Big old sigh. So Lucas, what are your problems with Metroid Other M before we get to the specific ones of the article?
I've got some problems with its level design, and I think the controls are quite clunky, but the biggest problem is just the characterization of Samus herself.
Yes, because in pretty much every Metroid game before and since Other M, Samus has been a very stoic character, rarely speaks, like all characterization is told effectively through either text on a screen or just, movement. And that's one of the things I like about Metroid Dread. Again, that came out because like everything you need to know about her character is told through her movements. Like, oh, an enemy that I've already killed before turns up, and just the charge beam's already charging. I'm not even going to let him do his like intro screen. Like she's there on a screen, like skipping the intro for the fight. Bringing it back to Other M, one of the most egregious changes to the character of Samus is making a character, as mentioned, in canon up to that point is a clear 6'3" tall. And in fact towers over every other character she's seen alongside. Like the intro to Super Metroid is a good example, where you have her just handing over the Metroid to that scientist, and he's like, she's just fucking ginormous. And they made her a clear foot shorter than every other man in the game, including when she's wearing her suit.
And as well, not only that, when she's out of her suit, they didn't just make her small, they gave her like very young, pixie-like qualities. Like she's got the pixie cut hair.
Yeah.
She's got very like bigger eyes, like a soft face. It's like doesn't look like Samus in any way.
She also, as well, has one of the most just character traits in that game. What it is, every time we had a mission, I gave a thumbs down. It's like she's like a petulant child.
Yeah.
I do not believe this person saved the galaxy 3 times.
The thumbs up sign had been used by the Galactic Federation for ages. Me? I was known for giving the thumbs down during briefing.
No, and we've talked about this plenty
Yeah.
of times off this video, but just the idea that she has to not only get approval to use weapons from somebody that it doesn't outrank her because she's a bounty hunter.
She's freelance. That's the story of the game. She's a freelance bounty hunter who gets called in to help, and for some reason decides to be completely subservient to a man.
Who used to be a superior officer, that's why she does it. But it's like, you don't work under him anymore.
Like, you're freelance, bounty hunter. You do what you want. You set your own goals. You're a single female lawyer. Let's do this. We'll bring it back to the topic of today's video, the double high heels, a design aspect in regards to Samus that was widely criticised upon the game's release and continues to be criticised to this day by people like me, 'cause it fucking sucks, is that the Zero suit worn by Samus, so named, do you know this, Lucas? Why is it called the Zero suit?
It's like she's wearing nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
So basically, the Zero suit offers Samus absolute full mobility and does not encumber her at all, allowing her to use the full extent of her physical capabilities.
All of her powers.
Which is why she's still able to do like 15 backflips while she's wearing it. And in Other M, that suit has giant fuck-off wedge heels.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking like little kitten heels. I'm not talking like, heels you might get on like, a set of boots. I'm talking fucking like, summer wedges that your mum wears by the pool.
Yeah, those are some 6-inch stompers right there.
Yes, so she's wearing them in her Zero suit, and despite her wearing 6-inch heels and being 6'3", supposedly she's still a foot shorter than every other man.
Who are these behemoth men that she's finding?
And how are they still worse than she is? And what makes that design decision all the more baffling is that in the game the Zero suit was introduced in, remember it, Lucas?
Yes, Zero Mission, I believe.
Zero Mission, very fittingly, yes. On the design docket where they show the Zero suit, there is like a specific note on the heel saying, do not make them bigger than this, because they're like tiny little ones. Like, you may be getting like, like a workman's boots and like that. Just do not make these bigger, do not exaggerate them. Samus does not wear high heels.
She does in Other M, Karl.
Yeah, she wears massive ones. You know what's really weird as well? Every female character in that game wears high heels.
Oh my god.
Every single one. There's only like 3 female characters in that game, but they all wear high heels.
It's just, it really annoys me as well, and they have fixed it to an extent, but because that was the most
Recent game in canon.
game, when Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS came out, they incorporated the high heels into Zero Suit's design.
Because that was the latest design they had, and that was the latest version of Samus. And then they doubled down on that in Smash Bros. For Wii U, where they gave her the rocket heels. And you know what? I think they're okay, because that's so stupid. I can see Samus using that, because she doesn't even think of it as high heels, she thinks of it as a weapon. We need to mention though, Lucas, because Samus isn't just wearing one set of high heels in that game. She's wearing 2, because they also put high heels onto the power suit. Meaning that inside the power suit, Samus is wearing high heels, but the power suit also has high heels. And I want to know, like, what are her fucking legs doing inside that suit? It's like her feet are already like this in the high heels, and then you put her in more high heels. Is she like a ballerina inside that suit? It makes no sense.
Just literally tiptoeing around as she's power stomping through the station.
But it's so they made her wear 2 sets of high heels. For no reason. That game fucking sucks.